Hey buddy, but hey, do we really need to keep talking? The elders won't believe you anyway. How can you say that? Sister Minju is like a fairy. Just gone. You're the only one that's left, buddy. If the adults believe it, she's toast. Times L, pound say tilde divide by I circumflex of hatchet micro ulum out ER letter 3 CA letter bro C tilde grova huff a tilde delta acute a tilde a acute a Chinese letter divide by a tilde circumflex o acute ulum out let 237 pound or let 50 cents a time saving R2 o grov degrees micro a out a circumflex pound at sign R 3 y cute S R only o I cute to scared to open her mouth o out yeah you out so constantly not sign acute a tilde leaving to silently watch 3/4 I or I quarter o tilde acute use of Vanessa delta or grov bray 1267 pound copyright. Little Handsome met obstacles everywhere, found the boss, but his indifference left Little Handsome in despair. If the law can't bring justice, this lawyer's out here. Sorry, I've really got to work. Outside the school with endless funds, Little Handsome blocked him, nodded, then lowered his head. It felt like the floodgates of injustice opened, and Little Handsome felt super guilty. But adult warriors were already rooted deep in the girl he knew had lost the kid's trust. Guilt hit him again. Little Handsome got drunk and ended up as the punchline of a joke. He could have saved it all, but went for his big dreams. Old man, quit pretending to suffer. Because I can see you're going to throw up. He was sitting outside of a burger joint. Recalling all the previous events, he truly wished that none of this had ever taken place, so he could still see the radiant and enthusiastic smile. He waited at his mentor's doorstep until the break of dawn. This was his last straw, daughter. I messed up. I messed up. Oh, I see, daughter. Do me a solid, Daughter, because I messed up. Nothing at all. He couldn't take the inner turmoil anymore. He pleaded softly with his mentor, hoping to fight for justice, maybe to feel that guilt inside. He handed out flyers in the Great Hall. No longer the dismissed one. After signing, he joined Little Handsome's crew. The investigation into the woman had everyone's jaws dropped. Freshly released, just let out this year, attorney Lizan couldn't even flip through his own case files. Couldn't even ask the hospital for help. Luckily, a previous co-worker dropped some files. Finally, they had something to work with. But it was a rupture caused by outside forces. His whole abdomen ballooned up. The police knew it wasn't the girl's doing, but felt helpless. The woman got the pink slip. This was Little Handsome's lawsuit notification. She pushed the girl away, walked to the kitchen with the girl's despairful gaze, and picked up a sturdy stick. The girl backed away step by step. Thankfully, the phone rang. She hid in the corner, listening to her dad's furious. The chubby kid arrived at the girl's door with gifts, hanging them up daily with glee. All those goodies actually came from Little Handsome. She hid him in a cupboard, then sat at her desk drafting a fake confession. The girl was tasked with copying it down. The crime details and motives were all laid out there, trying to shift the blame later on. She had used every trick in the book, but when she got to certain words, she stopped. Those WeChat messages felt like tiny daggers stabbing her heart. She turned and remembered Little Handsome's gifts. After so long, for the first time, she opened these gifts, and a box of glowing stars made her weep like a fountain. She remembered Little Handsome saying stars represent hope. There was even a pink music player in there, a source of motivation. Be brave and don't fear violence. Little Handsome wanted her to know that many uncles and aunts were fighting for her, even though that kind of drama always carried a bit of evil. The bridge we played on together. Every day the uncle waits for you. You can come anytime, okay? As the girl just put on her shoes, the stepmom swung the door open. The girl jumped back and landed right on her behind. She reached for her headphones, but stepmom caught on. The girl scampered into her room, bracing against the door with all her might. But strength wasn't on her side. The stepmom barged in, spotting the gifts on the floor, rage flooding her cheeks like a volcano. Forgetting the girl's waterfall of tears, she slapped her hard across the face, till the girl tumbled down. She struggled back up. Her unforgiving high heels relentlessly kicked the girl's stomach. The chubby kid heard the cries of anguish. Quickly dialed Little Handsome, tugging at the stepmom's foot, trying to reclaim her stuff, only to hear the recording blaring inside. The stepmom flipped, kicked the weak girl aside, not caring about her screams, grabbed a chair ready to finish her. Just as the door swung open, a beam of light hit the girl's face. When Little Handsome stepped into the room, what greeted him was a furious roar from his stepmother. The sight of the girl's joyful tears streaming down her cheeks tugged at his heartstrings. Watching Zayashua with a worried heart, he stayed by the girl's side, disregarding the woman's threats, until that terrifyingly dark and ominous cloud before his departure. Maybe childhood taught her not to meddle, but today she was all in. Little Handsome took the girl to his sister's place. Seeing her like this, she felt a wave of sympathy. Not knowing what to say, she hugged the girl tightly, like how her mother used to. Her mind flashed back to many memories. The ceiling was adorned with stars, each one representing hope. Subtitles. Little Handsome tightly grasped the girl's hand, providing her with the greatest sense of security. However, just at that moment, a thunderous roar came from downstairs. Her father had arrived and was shouting loudly downstairs. Dad said she was too loose with management, threatening to report her. Court was tomorrow, but Little Handsome wasn't fazed at all. Seeing that hard approach didn't work, Dad decided to go soft. When Little Handsome didn't budge, Dad lost it and threw her some crazy threats. Little Handsome tightly grasped the girl's hand, providing her with the greatest sense of security, but at the very moment, a deafening roar echoed from downstairs. Her father had arrived and was yelling loudly. If you like this story, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel.